talk about Arizona going to Colorado. This was an absolute barn burner of a game.
Great game.
Noah Fafita, I know they scored 17 points in the first half. He did not look good in the first half. He struggled. And I don't know who Colorado's punter is. I do not know his name. Colorado fans, you know his name. He, I swear, pinned Arizona inside the 10 like 5 times.
Mark Vassett.
Hard. Is that his name? Mark Vassett? Shout out Mark Vassett. I don't know what his stats were. If you have him up, he was unbelievable in this game. Left in a lot of spots where field position was a problem. But guess what? Second half, you come out. No Fafita does enough. Just Coleman. I mean, holy smokes. Talk about finding a way to win your game. Let's see. Jonah Coleman, 11 carries, just 11 touches, 179 yards.
Should have had
no
more.
touchdowns. He should have had more. I mean, he broke off several long runs in the second half that put Arizona in a tremendous position. But the reality is Nova Fia did enough in the second half to pull out this win, including orchestrating the last possession where Arizona kicked the last second field goal on the goal line. So
flawlessly, by the way. And I love that play by Jedd Fisch. I love that play.
Yeah.
Don't score a touchdown, go down and kick an extra point to win the football game. Do not let Colorado or Deion Sanders and Shedeur Sanders have a chance to win the football game. We're tied.
Yeah. It's just Shedeur Sanders played really well. 262 yards, 2 touchdowns passing. And he actually used his legs. Especially in the first half. He used his legs. Scampered for a touchdown, 40 yards.
He took some hits, though. He really did.
He did take some hits. But he looked good. I mean, but at some point, not having a run game is gonna limit you. Shedeur Sanders, of course, was the leading rusher on this team, because why wouldn't he be in this game? Why wouldn't he be?
At least they tried to run. They had 17 rushing attempts with their running backs. They tried a little bit.
For 48 yards.
I didn't say they didn't. I didn't say they didn't do it well. They tried.
Yeah. So,
or trying for their standards.
Tough. I mean, look, Colorado, they go to Pullman to play Washington State. They have a chance to win that ball game with the way Washington State's playing right now.
Yeah, they do.
They have a legit chance. And then they go, problem is after that, you go to Utah. Tough barn, as we know. So tough to see Colorado making a bowl game at this point, but I'm going to say successful season. I don't care I know what people are going to say. I thought this was a successful season. They way outperformed what I thought they were going to do this year. Of course, it ended up catching up to them. Injuries, depth, talent, whatever. Of course, it caught up to them, right? The problem is, though, is a lot of those transfers that they took are stuck there now. So it is interesting to see what the roster management is going to look like in terms of scholarships. Like, they're going to have to take away scholarships from kids.
It's not going to be pretty.
Or ask grad students to transfer, because it's gonna be another wild turnover, I think. So we'll see what ends up happening there. Arizona 7-3, 2 losses in the Pac-12. What do they have the rest of the way? They play at home versus Utah next week, which is very winnable, and then they go on the road and play Arizona State, a rivalry game. This is an Arizona team that could potentially go 9-3. That's wild. So we're all big Arizona fans. We both took a -10.5 here. Of course, did not cash. Dawson Steiner got at 9.5, did not cash. But sometimes you play tough games on the road in conference. And if you're walking away out of there with a dub and your quarterback did enough in the second half, you made adjustments, both offensively and defensively, to get it done, and you get it done, congrats. Awesome. Way to go. Move on. Let's go. So
I think that's more what it was, is in terms of let's just win. We were due for a tough game, and against a team that we probably should have smoked, and they got it done. Right? Like you said, they go on the road and they get a conference win. Bottom line, that's awesome for Jedd Fisch. Fan base should be super excited about that. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Coleman continue to feed the rock. I love Fafita. I hate taking it out of his hands. McMillan's so good. Cowling's a good player as well. Lemon is Craig. Good to see him going a little bit against his former team. But Coleman and Williams, man, when they're going, and they were going in the second half, especially, let them cook. Let them cook. This is a really dangerous football team in offense with those guys getting it done. That's for Colorado. You mentioned it.
Coleman's averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yeah. No, he runs hard. A physical guy. Physical guy. As for Colorado, you mentioned they overachieved. I thought this was a successful year for sure. Other than Oregon, for a team that is like as bad as they were last year, like they have not been outclassed in any of the games that they've been in, other than Oregon, right? In a good Pac-12. Like they have belonged on the same playing field as everybody else that they've played, which is super impressive. And like, yeah, the Stanford game probably gonna come back to bite you in the butt if you wanted to make a bowl game, but
Yeah.
yeah, you had a lot of games in conference that were winnable. And like I know you don't love moral victories, and I know, after the TCU win and the Nebraska win, like you beat two teams that were pretty bad. Both those teams quarterbacks got benched, like the teams that you played. Like so
Yeah.
like that you had unfair expectations of what this year was gonna be after those two games. But like bottom line is like Sanders and those guys, like you mentioned it's gonna be a weird offseason, very uncomfortable offseason. But I think they're heading in the right direction.
I agree. And so is Arizona. I mean, come on. Love what Jed Fisher's cooking up over there.